I am Sandy Stack, and we are at the Wynn Casino Blue Wire Studios with the one and only Jay Leno.
How are you?
I am great. You have a show in a few hours,
Right.
which we were talking about this before we started recording. You never know with comedians. I'm a comedian myself.
Okay.
What your process is the day of the show. Do you not want to be left alone? I was surprised you said yes to this. I was.
No, you just get on stage. You know, my thing, I fly in, plane lands at 7 o'clock. You get to the gig at 7:45. You're on at 8. You're going, I got to kill 15 minutes. You walk around the circles 15 minutes. Okay, and then you go on stage. No, you just show up. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
The idea that, I must have some sort of pride. Shut up.
What about when people are in town that you know that want to hang out or do a dinner? Do you ever do that, or does that get exhausting?
Well, sometimes you hang out and you do it. Or is that exhausting? You know what's exhausting? Working in a coal mine. That is really, I like the idea, he went to dinner and then he met with friends. How exhausting. That's like a rich man's disease.
Right.
Exhaustion. You know, poor people don't get exhausted. They just die.
Oh, my God.
But you know what I mean? It's true. Poor people just go, imagine if poor people tell the boss, I've been working this McDonald's window all day. I'm exhausted. Get back in there, you. The idea that that really makes me laugh.
So you're just ready to go, meaning when you get to the hotel, you are ready. There's nothing you need to do beforehand. No pre-show ritual. No,
there's no pre-show ritual. No, there's not no, there's nothing like that. No.
Now I have to say, since we are at the Wynn, I have not had the buffet here. I've heard it's amazing. Do you like?
It's a great hotel. It's the world's largest 5-star hotel. And it's not till you get in the room you realize what the 5-star means. Like they give you a disposable razor. It's better than my razor at home. I mean, it's got like a pearl handle. Like, why is this disposable?
No, you take that right back.
No,
with you.
it's a great hotel. It really is, really. Because I worked Caesars and the Bailey's when that was around MGM Grand. I never knew what it was until I didn't realize. I don't know how many 5-star hotels are on the Strip, but it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, this is our first time here, and I feel
I
feel pretty fancy. I do.
Feel pretty fancy.
I do.
Yeah, we're doing Pygmalion.
No one would know this top is from TJ Maxx.
Okay.
No. Do you like buffets though?
I am a buffet guy because I eat a lot of the few things that I like.
Okay.
It's like when you used to get those stupid Swanson TV dinners. The steak is as big as the amount of peas and the mashed potato. No, I just want the steak. I don't want the peas.
Yeah.
I do like buffets.
So if we're at a buffet, tell me what's on your plate. Like what?
Usually chicken, beef, pasta, like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You crab legs guy?
No, not a crab legs guy.
Okay.
No. I'm not a seafood guy. Anything taken from the earth or grown from the sea, I don't really.
That's too weird.
Unless it has a face, I eat it.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
What do you ever see the people with the regular plates my dad will do this. He'll get a regular plate and then put like 18 desserts on it.
Yeah, that's my there's a commercial on TV now it's obviously something for digestion. But this guy's at the county fair with his kids and he eats 6 hot dogs. And he gets sick. Oh, don't ruin your day. And then he takes, whatever it is, the pill. And then at the end of the commercial, he's eating 6 hot dogs again. What are you doing? Your body just said, stop. Here, this will save you temporarily. But he just eats. He takes the medicine to go back to eating. He doesn't take it to change.
It's the American way. Put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah, that just makes me laugh. That's my favorite thing. Makes me laugh.
So I saw you a couple weeks ago at Flappers. Flappers is a comedy club in Burbank, California. And you're so tight with your material. Go, boom, 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 boom.
No, I think you got to be tight. You got every 6 to 9 seconds. I hate it when I watch a lot of people's third Netflix special. The first one's always great. The second one is everything they didn't want to do in the first one. The third one's, hey, anybody in Baltimore? Woo, Baltimore, yeah. Denver, woo, Denver. And they're just looking at the watch, counting down that 60 minutes they have to legally do to get the check. Yeah, so no, I don't do any of that. I don't like doing those sort of things. I just like to come and work a live audience.
Yeah. Well, how about, because I noticed you're still so great at incorporating topical events, things people are talking about around the world in your act.
Well, it's funny. I don't really, I try to do more. I used to do a lot of politics. We live in an era now where people have to hear the punchline before they decide if it's funny or not. If you say the word Trump or Biden, they wait. And if they're pro-Biden people, they'll laugh or they'll boo. And the same thing, and you realize it's thrown, because you had a crowd that was enjoying everything you're doing. Now you've got a crowd that's enjoying half of what you do.
Yeah.
And it's so, I said, something? Like I did this game show, You Bet Your Life, that I'm doing now. And I sold it on the premise that we will never discuss politics. Because I see guys come on and I go, I know I'm not going to agree with that guy. But, maybe he's a plumber or a truck driver. He's got kids. I like him. He's funny. We just disagree politically. So I don't go there. So I'm not interested in it. When I say like you go to a town and you say there's no politics, ticket sales go up like 15, 20% because people go, I've had people go, I'm so tired of hearing about big candidate. I just want to have some laughs.
We want to get away from it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that was kind of Tonight Show 22 years during your monologues. And that was kind of, you did it the same way on the Tonight Show, correct?
But it's a funny, nowadays you have to give your opinion or else you're whatever the name you want to call. I used to love when I would get, well, Miss Leno, you and your Republican buddies. Well, Miss Leno, you and your Democratic friends. And on the same day, you get hate mail from both sides. And you go, this is perfect. This is exactly what you want, because nobody can decide. Right now, almost every talk show loses half the audience, regardless of which side, which side you're on.
Yeah. Well, and that's as a comic and even in the Tonight, or the talk show realm, do you feel it's tougher to do what we do now?
No.
Okay.
That's just in the 30s, if you went to any comedian show, racist jokes abounded. Two black guys, and it was just a matter of course. Or even in the 70s, blonde jokes or Puerto Rico, whatever you want. But people stopped laughing at them. So you change with the times. I mean, it changed. You just don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing annoys me more when I see a comic and go, why are you still doing that bit about Reagan's trip to Pittsburgh? Okay, it's been like 40 years, Well, I got a laugh in Denver 6 months ago. Yeah, okay, but it's got to get a laugh every night. If something's not working all the time, get rid of it. Don't be.
Although, do you have anything in your act that's you won't because it's just for you? You love it that much, even if the audiences are.
Well, no, I don't. If the audience doesn't get it, I'm not there for me. Okay, and that's my favorite thing. I used to see these people come on with me and with Letterman. They go, "I've done this film, but now I've done something for me." As if everything they've done has just been for the public, and now you're doing something for you. That's so wonderful. No, I don't ascribe to that. If it's not funny, take it out. I don't do it. I mean, if there are other comics, if you're working at the Improv, the Comedy Store, and it's a room full of comedians, then you can do those ones the general audience won't get, but most people will like. But no, on stage, I'm not there to waste the audience time. Here's something I know you won't like, but I enjoy. Boo!
What are your thoughts on cancel culture?
Well, I mean, it's a bad thing, obviously. But you can't, if people don't want to see you, they don't want to see you. I don't think anybody should lose work over it. I mean, I'm amazed that words that you say have the exact same punishment as the deed that you did. I mean, as a comedian, for example, talking about rape is the same punishment as actually committing rape because you won't ever work these clubs again.
Right.
So if you actually committed the crime, is the same as actually doing a joke about the crime. Is it bad taste? Yes. Should you not do it? You shouldn't do it. But, the rule in comedy is if it's really funny, it's okay.
Right.
There are plenty of jokes. You hear what he said about, it was really funny. It was funny.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah, are you on Twitter as well or anything?
No, I made the mistake of just doing a joke. I tweeted out a joke. My assistant said, let's put this joke out. It's funny. I go, I don't want to. The joke was that, I had a motorcycle accident recently. I got a busted collarbone. I got 2 broken ribs. I got 2 cracked kneecaps. I'm kind of hobbling around here. And I said, I was riding my motorcycle around Lake Tahoe. I came around the corner and ran into Jeremy running his snowmobile, a snowplow, I mean. Okay, a big laugh. Then I look on thing. Leno attacks Renner. Leno makes fun of Renner's. No, I didn't. I never said it. But nobody ever quotes the joke.
Right. No.
They will always say you did some homophobic thing. Well, no, it wasn't. Mm-hmm. So no, I'm not on Twitter.
Did you have to go apologize or whatever?
No. I did apologize a while back. 10, 15 years ago, I think I did. I was joking about North Korea, but there were Asian jokes. Okay. And people are upset. Yeah, I said something. You guys, you're right. I'll take them out. Right. And that's that. I haven't done it since. And
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, if I'm there to make the audience laugh, if they're not laughing, they're being made uncomfortable, then you're doing something wrong.
What about the notion that all audiences are different? Do you ever think an audience just sucks? Is that a horrible question?
Well, I mean, you get audiences that are, for example, I know as a guy who does corporate events, you get that 8 o'clock in the morning, it's all guys, salespeople. You know, they're mad. They're in a town like Vegas, and I get up at 8 o'clock, go to the seminar.
4 hours too early, right?
Yeah. I think if you're a comedian, you should be able to work just about anything. Is some better than others? Sure. But the idea of blaming the audience, once you start that game, then you can apply it to almost anything. I mean, I meet comedians. I just do colleges. I don't do colleges. I just do this. I just do cruises. Well, if a joke's funny, Rodney Dangerfield could play just about any crowd because they were just jokes.
Yeah.
Rodney and I were friends for 40 years. I have no idea who he voted for. I don't know if Rodney was a Republican or Democrat. We would just throw jokes back and forth. And that's what we enjoyed talking about, and that's what we did. I didn't know what his politics.
But I love that. I miss that.
Yeah. So sometimes it's just a joke, really. I mean, the idea that everything has some ulterior motive.
Yeah. I heard you, I don't know when it was. It was recent. It was David Spade, Dana Carvey's podcast, Flannel Wall. And you were mentioning, because even when I was watching you live, the jokes are so tight and you don't have a set list. You don't write it down beforehand.
No, I don't. I'm dyslexic, so I don't write anything down.
So I know they've already asked this, but how do you remember?
Well, the way you remember, this is what I used to do. I don't do it so much anymore. But to practice, I'd sit in my room and I'd do my act myself, talking out loud, and I'd write a letter with this hand, and to see if I could compartmentalize. And if you do it enough times, you can do it. That way, your mind is doing one thing, the other part of your mind is doing something else. So, like when I'm on stage and there's a guy heckling me here, I can look at him and go, "Okay, there's that guy over there." I can think about what I'm going to say to that guy, and then when I say it, it appears to be just an ad lib, but actually I've been thinking about it for 2 minutes while you're doing you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, so that's always worked for me.
God, that's amazing. The amount of wheels that are going on, people.
Not really. I mean, now we have nothing else to do all the time.
I would have been at the slot, so you know that.
Well, that's right. There you go.
We discussed off camera. Jay's not a slot person. That's okay. What else was I going to say? I know you're a car person.
Right.
Jay Leno's Garage, new episodes every week on NBC and streaming online. I know nothing about cars, so forgive me.
No, this is fine. He doesn't know anything about cars. My wife knows something about cars.
Oh, really?
I learned something about the Bronte sisters, and she learned something about cars. I hate when I go to these car shows and you see husband and wives in matching Mustang outfits,
Do they have that? Is that?
Oh, yeah, you see that all the time. The wife is under the car tightening the muffler or something. No.
Well, I was going to get your thoughts on this because my dad loves cars.
All right.
He had a 56 Ford Sunliner convertible.
Yeah, sure.
And he built a record player in the car and took my mom out on dates.
Well, you could get a record player. Yeah.
Isn't that pretty pimp?
I don't think there was a Sunliner in 56. Sure, it wasn't a little bit later?
Could have been. I don't know.
Maybe 60?
Could have been. See, this is how much he knows. I just told whatever my dad said, I remembered.
Right. Okay.
You're like, I don't think your dad's right.
Well, no, I think you maybe got the year wrong.
Oh, okay. Maybe it was.
It was a Sunliner. Maybe.
I wrote it down, 56 Ford Sunliner.
Maybe, okay.
My dad is kind of forgetting things.
I'm going to check that out.
All right. Do you have, because I know, how many cars do you have? 100 and...
Oh, boy, you sound like my wife.
Uh-oh, not in a bad way.
204 on the road.
204.
Yeah, every week I'll put another sticker on.
Do you have a feature from one of your cars that you're like, that stands out so much that you just love it? Again, I know nothing about cars, but...
there are odd... I had a car that had a really stupid feature. It was hilarious. It was in an old Kaiser. And you loaded cigarettes in it, and you pressed the button, and it would light the cigarette. And in the ad, it would flip the cigarette up, and the guy would catch it and go like this. And the woman's like, "Ooh, what a sophisticated gentleman." Just the idea that you're flipping lit cigarettes in a car, and then it falls under the seat. But the cigarette would roll down, the thing would light it, and then it would go boop, and then you'd catch it. Yeah. Really, I mean, there's a lot of
What car was it? Do you remember?
Stupid. Well, you could put it in any car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was one of those idiot accessories.
Uh-huh.
I love those. There's one that I really like. It's a tray, that fits on your steering wheel. And it's got a cup holder and a thing for hamburger and fries. And you see the woman driving and she's eating. Assuming you never turn the wheel, you're fine. But, I mean, you've got it's some 44-ounce big gulp here. And, yeah, I mean.
The wheel's just getting in the way.
Yeah, it was just as stupid as just the idea that you're eating while you're driving. And the tray is right here. It's right below your nose.
Honest question, though. Have you ever eaten while driving?
All the time. I love to eat.
Okay, what do you eat and drive?
Well, it's usually some sort of fast food.
Yeah,
When I was a kid, I worked at a high-end car dealership. We sold Rolls Royces and Mercedes. And one day I was delivering a Rolls to a customer, and I thought, well, let me go get something to eat, I got my hamburger, so I'm driving along, and I'm in traffic like this bumper that I'm driving. I'm putting ketchup on this burger, and I bump the car in front of me, and the hamburger hits me in the face, right? When I run out, I go, are you okay? And the woman gets out, sees my face red. She assumes it's blood. She starts screaming. I go, what? I go, oh, no, it's ketchup. She goes, ketchup? Why do you have ketchup on your face? It was just, not good.
Speaking of, I won't go over the accident. You've been asked a million questions on that.
Whatever you want.
Well, I will say, though, did you only miss 2 shows?
I just missed 2 shows. I mean, they gave me a whole new face in 8 days.
This is a silly question, but I pictured if this happened to my dad, he would have been afraid to tell my mom because he didn't want to get yelled at. Right. Were you afraid to tell Mavis?
Well, how can you not tell her your face is all third degree?
Well, you know how like some wives are like, oh God, you did it again. You're messing around in the garage. Or...
You know something? Messing around in the garage is the least the guy's problem. You come home reeking of transmission oil. Okay. Put a mark on the carpet. Okay. Little perfume behind the ear, then you're in a lot of trouble.
Right.
Yeah, so believe me, coming home, reeking of, not a problem.
What was the hyperbaric chamber like?
Oh, it was like being in a coffin. They put it in, they close it, and it's glass. And you're in there going, could you turn the heat down? And the people, because they can't hear you. And it's like you're an invisible person, like you're in this thing. Yeah, it was pretty weird.
How many hours a day were you in that?
Twice a day, maybe 2 hours, hour and a half.
It is amazing. And I know people have said that. You would have never known. They did an amazing job.
Yeah, it's pretty good. For the second time in my career, I'm the new face of comedy.
Oh.
First time in 87 and now.
Hey, never say it's too late to attain your new goals. Because after that, so as a comic, you had that happen, recovered, motorcycle accident happens.
Yeah,
then what's going through your mind as a comic at that point?
Nothing. You know what it is? At this point, it's all gravy. If I was 25 years old and starting out, it would have been a nightmare. It's just horrible. You couldn't get. But I've been successful. If it ends tomorrow, hey, that was a pretty good run. So at this point, I just enjoy it and I have fun. I mean, I really like doing this. Coming here playing this gig tonight. It's a new room for me. I've never played it. Try out some new jokes. It's great. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
There's no pressure. I mean, you have. If something has worked in Boston, Louisiana, Mississippi, San Francisco, it's going to work here.
Yeah.
So like people say, what happens when you go on stage and you just bomb? Well, at some point you don't just bomb. It's like you don't forget how to sing. Maybe the audience doesn't enjoy the song as much.
Right.
But you're still singing,
Yeah.
It's the same thing with comedy. I mean, there are times you'll get bigger laughs. Maybe sometimes the laughs are more muted, but there's still laughs. The idea of an audience sitting on its hands for 90 minutes really doesn't happen after a while. I mean, you have to be reasonably professional. I'm not saying that I'm special. I think any professional performer knows how to get them. When you start out in comedy, well, you know this. People say, it took me 5 minutes, but I got them. It took me 20 minutes before I got them, or I never got them. Once you're famous, you got them. Now that there's years to lose.
Right. That's an interesting dichotomy, too, when the fame, and then you go up and then nothing. It's like, well, you can't ride that forever.
That's another reason why I don't like to do Netflix special or something, because most people, they'll go on Netflix. It's on all day for a year and a half. People who like you have watched it 2 or 3 times. You can never do that material again, ever.
Yeah.
Because people paid money. I had a comedian on the Tonight Show once. His special had just been on Netflix. I watched it. He came on the next day. I enjoyed the special. Blah, blah. During the break, I said, you going out on the road? He said, yeah. Really? Got a whole new hour? He goes, no, I just do what I did in the special. I said, is that a good idea? He goes, oh, yeah, I don't think people, like hearing a song. It's not like hearing a song. And then about 3 months later, he comes back and goes, "Oh man, you were right."
Oh no!
You know, people will go, "I just saw that last night. I just heard that," and they watched it for free at home. Now they're paying $45, whatever it is. They hear the same thing they just heard for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pressure on that is too much.
I think you can't get greedy. You can't take the Netflix money and the personal appearance money. You pick where you want to do it.
Yeah.
Like I would rather perform it 100 times a year, 150 times a year, than perform it once on Netflix for the same amount of money.
Yeah.
You know,
the variety you get and the safety of being able to perform it.
And plus you can improve it and you can. Plus the trouble with TV now is you have a situation. I watched a friend of mine had a special. It was on in 16. And he walked out and he said, not in a homophobic way, he said, "These pants make me look gay?" I don't know. And you know, the audience just sort of laughed. Didn't do any other jokes, just that. But watching it then, you laughed. Watching it now, you go, ooh boy, is that homophobic? Is that going to get you? You know, so a joke that was good 6 months ago now takes on a whole new connotation.
I know.
You know, these should be disposable. You know, you're doing it for the people in the room. Like there are a lot of subjects you can approach in a nightclub because they're there to have a good time. They didn't just have a parent die. They didn't just lose a child. Whatever this horrible thing that happened in your life, it didn't happen to those people. They're there for one reason. When you do it on TV, you never know who you're affecting because somebody goes, "Oh," and they're terribly hurt by something you said. You know, and you go, "Oh, I didn't want to hurt their feelings. That wasn't your intention. If I had known that, you know."
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give an example. Yeah. You just got to be careful.
I understand.
Yeah.
We are at the Wynn Casino Encore Theater. Your first time performing there tonight.
Yeah. I'm anxious. It'll be exciting.
Very exciting. And then you're off to a new place. Jay has gone literally somewhere every night, the last 2 or 3 nights, Florida, across the country, and now we're here.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking the time.
Okay, we all done?
We are all done.
Oh, man, that was easy. Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
We appreciate it. All right, we're at Blue Wire Studios. I'm Sandy Steck. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sandy.